Kaduna State. Kaduna State is one of the most prominent states in the north. Kaduna State is situated in the northwestern region of Nigeria. And Nigeria State gets its name from the crocodile. Yes, the crocodile. So in Hausa, it's called Kada, Kada. So there used to be an abundance of crocodiles in Kaduna State. There are rivers and water bodies like that. So Kaduna got its name from that. So in the Kaduna River, there were a lot of crocodiles back then. Thank God for history and the recordings, right? So Kaduna State boasts of about over 7 to 10 million people. Her population, right? Her population. And it's the fourth largest state based on land area and the third most populated state in Nigeria. So maybe we'll say maybe Lagos, maybe Kano. Lagos 1, Kano 2, then third most populated state in Nigeria. So, well, okay.
The people need to hear you. Someone's saying they can hear you clearly.
All right. Kaduna State has the highest number of tertiary institutions in Nigeria. Tertiary institutions that teach academic subjects, even when you go into the military. So some of these tertiary institutions include Ahmadu Bello University in Zaria, Kaduna State University in Kaduna, Nigerian College of Aviation Technology, Nigerian Defense Academy. So you see, we're going into the military aside, civilians, and so Kaduna State Business School, Nigerian Institute of Transport Technology in Zaria, Greenfield University in Zaria, School of Midwifery, a lot of institutions like scattered all over the state, the northern part of the state, and even the southern part of the state. So you have polytechnics, you have universities, you have School of Nursing and all of that. So Kaduna State has the highest number of tertiary institutions in Nigeria. Well, that's why she's called the Center of Learning. That's the slogan for Kaduna State. Now, Kaduna State has also got a lot of tribes. Aside the northern part of Nigeria and the southern part of Nigeria, over 50 to 60 ethnic groups in Kaduna State.
Okay, you have one more minute.
Kaduna State has breathtaking tourist attraction centers. So all over the state, you have that in southern Kaduna, the Gurara Falls, the Matigira Falls, and all of that, many attraction sites in Kaduna State. So she's blessed with a lot of mineral resources.
Oh, no.
Amethyst, gold, columbite, tantalite, granite, a lot of them. So,
great.
Yeah, very rich in agriculture. The largest producer of maize in the north is Kaduna State, in an area called Saminaka.
Yeah.
Very so, beans, millet, ginger from Kaduna State, southern Kaduna, Kachia local government in particular.
Okay.
Yeah. So
you have 10 seconds.
So it's a privilege to be from Kaduna State. It's a
fantastic.
Blessing.
Lagos. We'll be right back.
Yeah.
State.
In our state here, we all agreed. I paid for every form. I paid.
So a dog is better fed in Nigeria prison than an innocent Nigerian who is held in your custody.
Do you comprehend the presumptions of government?
What have they done in their own road to fight corruption in Nigeria? That is their own problem. It's not my problem.
Do they reinforce your quaint ideas of a democratic state?
Political power is not going to be served in a restaurant.
At all costs, fight for, grabbing, snatching.
Do you just observe your fate, or are you a civic and material force to bring about a state change?
The speaker reminded me that I've not taken salary 4 months. I will not take it for 4 years.
Then join the State Apale on Nigeria Info.
What we need to do in this country is to establish a situation where even if it was the devil who should come and sit on top of us, by virtue of certain procedures, certain practices, the devil cannot get away with doing whatever he wants. He would necessarily have to do what the people expect of him.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone.
99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. You're listening to The State. I'm off on a break. We'll be right back. After the break, I guess we'll have to be looking at the top of the hour to bring to you the news headlines. After that, on the other side of the clock, the merchantman representing Enugu begins.
I Beg to Differ Season 7 is about to start. 32 debaters selected from a pool of over 200 entries. 33 topics drawn from various facets of life. One winner, 1 million naira. Join Femi Abong-Daniels and me Mondays to Thursdays, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. to catch every show. For sponsorship, call 070-3498-4352 or send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ Season 7, a tournament of champions.
People share fake news simply because they fail to think sufficiently about whether or not the content is accurate when deciding what to share.
Fake news can cause conflict, which can lead to violence, destruction of properties, and even death.
Some people create fake news intentionally to cause chaos and harm, mislead others, and delegitimize key democratic institutions.
Do not share any message without verifying the source. You could be misleading others.
If you cannot independently verify that story, don't share it.
Read, verify, and confirm before you share. This message is brought to you by the Center for Democracy and Development, CDD, with support from the National Endowment for Democracy, NED.
I Beg to Differ Season 7 is about to start. 32 debaters selected from a pool of over 200 entries. 33 topics drawn from various facets of life. One winner, 1 million naira. Join Femi Abong-Daniels and me Mondays to Thursdays, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. to catch every show. For sponsorship, call 070-3498-4352 or send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ Season 7, a tournament of champions.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We're back.
We are back.
We're back on 99.3 Nigeria Info. You are listening to Open Thought on the sunny side with Joyce. Let's talk.
Once again, I'm here to remind you, you're listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info's The Sunny Side. We're about 2 minutes away from the top of the hour. Not enough time to give to IMO State. Once again, I kind of called him Enugu representative earlier, so I apologize. I take that back. He's actually speaking on behalf of IMO State. Not enough time on the clock to give to him. So on the other side of the hour, 1 o'clock, we're going to... Actually, on the other side of the hour, 2 o'clock, he'll be speaking. And then you can start your... Not just your listening, but of course, if you hold any support for Imo State, if you hold any support for Kaduna State, the state, we're speaking on behalf of our states, and we're looking at the good, the crazy, the bad, the political. I'm not going to say it. Yeah. If you've been Nigerian for any amount of time, you solidly comprehend the craziness in the world of politics, and you many times do not approve of the nature or actions of politicians. And we don't speak about that enough. And so the state allows you the opportunity to speak about state development, politics, and what needs to happen as far as people engagement in state decision goes. Okay, so now I say that to say next week on this very interesting program, The State, we're pairing Ibadan versus Enugu. Ibadan versus Enugu. So if you would love to be on the state to represent either Ibadan or Enugu, leave me a message on Twitter, Joyce Onyemuwa on Twitter, or on Instagram, Joyce Onyemuwa on Instagram. So a few more seconds before we touch down top of the hour, I'm saying cling to your radio set. The state will return. My name is Joyce. Don't go anywhere.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Nigeria Info. Ask everyone. Anyone.
From your favorite Showmax series, Wura. It is 3 p.m. and the clock keeps counting down. The new Showmax app coming soon. Visit showmax.com now.
Yet, breaking news, updates, and the best of talk.
Women have to work twice, even thrice as hard for them to get things that just come so naturally to a lot of men who feel that leadership is their right.
You were in prisons for how many years?
For 6 years, 8 months.
Were you going to court from prisons then?
Yes, but before I started court, it took me 2 years.
Just being in prison?
Yes.
Without your case even start at all?
Confinement.
You were there?
Yeah.
Here on your number one station for talk, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
The headline news on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Here are the headlines. President Bola Tinubu receives Super Eagles at the presidential villa. 3 newly elected senators take oath of office in Senate today, while governors elected on platform of the People's Democratic Party demand state police, say Nigeria is almost becoming Venezuela. Federal government pledges support for community radio stations as the world celebrates World Radio Day. Lagos to begin disbursement of funds to traders across state on Wednesday, while experts predict danger in Nigeria in few months following ongoing food crisis. Federal Ministry of Water Resources and Sanitation rolls out plans to tackle food inflation. Manufacturers and NAFDAC trade words over recent ban on production of alcohol in sachets and PET bottles below 200 millimeters. Nigeria Police Force set to host International Association of Women's Police Conference. Gunmen free 7 inmates in IMO Correctional Service farm settlement attack in Okigwe. Kill Police Inspector Mama Boko Haram sentenced to 10 years in prison for 40 million naira fraud. Industrial Court upholds Pretty Okafor's election as president of Performing Musicians Employers Association of Nigeria. Minister of Women Affairs Uju Kennedy Ohaneye places 2 million naira bounty on Anambra State-based lawyer for allegedly burning her 11-year-old house help. Indian envoy says Nigeria's market is too big to be ignored, just as NAFDAC commissions new pharmaceutical factory. On the foreign scene, Delhi turns into fortress as thousands march to India capital over farmers' protest. And U.S. President Biden urges Israel to protect civilians in Rafah as bombardments continue in Gaza Strip. The 7th season of Nigeria Info's I Beg to Differ debate continues today. Listen to it daily on 99.3 Nigeria Info every weekday, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. If you have a story in your community you'd like Nigeria Info's newsroom to cover, call the number 080-01465-7175 rather. Lagos, I am Ivan Okaifo. This is 99.3 Nigeria Info. The state on the sunny side with Joyce is about to start.
It is easier to talk of poverty than to think of the poor.
To negotiate with the European Union by December this year, 4,000 IMOUs will be deployed in Europe.
To create a minimum standard of life below which no human being can fall is the elementary duty of the democratic state.
Kill corruption in our society. Let the poor breathe. Don't suffocate them.
133 million Nigerians in multi-dimensional poverty is an open belt.
We're seeing in Nigeria today. It's a tragedy that we are all witnessing because as we see things falling apart, the pressure instead is corruption.
and the people rail.
Actually, getting overworked. So the poor now is shocking. The poor is suffocating.
Against politicians who equivocate.
People are not going to vote because everybody's angry with the government.
Theorize, postulate, dramatize.
I cannot vote anybody. I cannot vote for anybody again.
While the trite politics reduce even our very culture to the level of our poverty. And so, you must know that not chance, not odds, but choice is the most fortunate of our options. The people must choose the state. On Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. 4 minutes past 2 p.m. on the clock. And I'm giving the next 4 minutes to the representative for Imo State on the state this afternoon to speak about the good parts of Imo State. If you have just tuned in, welcome to our new program. This is our debut. It's the state where citizens or natives of the state speak on the politics, the drama, the good, the bad, and developments within their states. And so the merchant man speaking on behalf of Imo State, you have 4 minutes on the clock starting now.
Good afternoon once again. My name is Igwe Victor Chiwendo, Radio aka the Merchant Man. I'm representing Imo State. Imo State was created in February 1976 after the Civil War. It was actually created to dissuade and discourage the centrifugal passion of patriotism for the defunct Biafran state. It was actually created in order to demoralize the growing spirit of patriotism among the Igbos after the Civil War. Imo State derived its name from the popular Imo River. Imo River is a river which forms a boundary between Imo State and the Abia State. Abia State was actually carved out from Imo State during the Babangida's administration in 1991. Imo State had like 15 administrative structures. 8 was for the military administration and 7 was for civilian governance. Imo State has an estimated land mass of 5156 square kilometer, and it is predominantly inhabited by the indigenous Igbo people, who constitute 98% of the population of 4.8 million people. Imo State has been a very wonderful state that if you always go through the AKS of the state across Nigeria, you will notice that Imo State is called the Heartland. Imo State is situated in a very important strategic position in the heart of Igbo land, which makes it a very vital entity in the geopolitical state of Nigeria. Imo State has been so good when you talk of hospitality. Imo State, like I said, is a gateway to other major states across the east. When you talk of hospitality, Imo State has been a wonderful state that most people across Nigeria always make their money and they come back to Imo State and they spend the money. That is why when you look around, you see that there are growing number of hotels and realization centers across Imo State, and people see Imo State as a hub of realization. Then the strategic position of Imo State makes it a very important one for the federal government of Nigeria to create the state out of the former eastern region, because prior to the creation of Imo State in February 1976, Imo State was nucleus part of what we used to know as the East Central State. After the creation,
1 minute.
1 minute. We also have beautiful things that actually give reason for anybody to be proud of being a citizen of Imo State, which involves natural resources. Imo State has the deposit of oil, that's crude oil. Imo State has the highest gas reserve in Africa. Imo State has other amenities that makes it an envious one to everybody who is a proud Imo citizen. then in terms of productivity, the people of Imo State are so productive in art and in culture.
All right. Right on the clock. Thank you very much, Merchant Man. So you've heard Gladys speak on the good parts of Kaduna State and the Merchant Man speak on the good parts of... Pardon me, Gladys spoke for Kaduna State, and then Merchant Man spoke the good parts of Imo State. Now we're going on to the issues. Given that Gladys is first on our listings, Gladys is going to go on the wrong or the issues with Imo State, and you have the floor, and I'm giving you 3 minutes, and on that clock, your time starts now.
All right. Issues in Imo State, like what we hear over the dailies, the media, this issue of fighting, killings, and, well, I will say in almost every state in Nigeria, you have these attacks. Then you now hear there's a need for, is it ESN or whatsoever? Like, what actually is happening? Like, in the course of my research, I heard from different people, oh, we think this issue must be solved politically for us to be satisfied as Imo indigents. So, what?
Yeah, but go ahead. Are there other issues you'd like to highlight? The women, the men, real estate, whatever else you may have
also,
found
I also
wrong?
thought about how youth,
education,
the human development index can improve in Imo State, because that will be a solution, not only in Imo, even if it comes to any other state. Because if you develop the humans then, and they agree to it, then whatever issue.
You're practically saying that human development index in Imo State is low because the government has not taken civic development seriously.
Yes, I would say so. The youths.
Okay.
Why the
else?
killing? Not the older ones are doing the killings now. Where is that coming from?
Okay. Anything else you have?
No, for now.
Okay, good. So now, have you taken notes? Good. Now, on the clock, she actually rounded up earlier than I thought. So on the clock, we have 11 minutes past 2 on the clock. I'm giving the next 3 minutes to the Merchant's Man, representing Imo State, to speak on the issues in Kaduna State. Your time starts now.
Okay. Gladys, I want to know, there is this concept of unity in diversity. And the last time I checked, the indigenes of Kaduna State, they may not be counted as you may not point a particular tribe that you can say is the influential figure that dominates that represent the population of the state. But it makes me keep wondering why the issue of killings among the people we don't really know how to interpret who they are continues to grow. Then another issue is the issue of religious fanaticism. When you say there is freedom of worship, we keep hearing the issues of when people try to express themselves, you always have these issues of people giving them threat. There was the last one that happened that somebody was I think somebody was arrested for trying to make a defense in a post on, I think it was on Facebook. Then the issue of banditry.
Go ahead.
The issue of banditry in the state has continued to grow. When you see people who disguise in the name of whatever, because if you look at what is happening in the north, would I say is a general issue of the north, or would I say they are trying to christen it to a point that it may not assume the obvious name that we used to know about it? Because when you know about the group of people who were actually bombarding and making things go the other way around, at the end of the day, they were christened to be members of bandits, which we actually know or knew who they were before now. So those are my questions to you.
All right. 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. Thank you very, very much, the Merchant Man. My name is Joyce. If you have just tuned in, you're listening to Nigeria Info's The Sunny Side, and it's the state. We have two sitting on opposite ends of our seats for guests. To my left is Gladys representing Kaduna State, and to my right is the merchant man speaking on behalf of Imo State. Now on our rankings, we have not started to rank just yet because we're about to go into cross-examination. So far, the merchant man has pointed out some issues in Kaduna State, and Gladys has had the opportunity to also point out the issues in Imo State. Now cross-examination, where you have the opportunity to address the issues raised or you counter the issues to the extent to which you're knowledgeable in that field. And after 3 minutes, I'll accord the merchant man the same opportunity to do likewise. And so if you're ready with me, your time on the clock starts now. 3 minutes. Gladys.
The issue of banditry. Now, who is a bandit? A bandit is one who robs others. You cheat others unlawfully. You come to oppress. That's a bandit. Now, in Kaduna State, who are those oppressing? We in Kaduna State will say foreigners have come to our land. Before now, we have lived over the years, the civilian era when we had military administration. Did we have that before now? So something is happening. First of all, taking it to the national level, I'll say those in charge of immigration, where are they? Are they doing their work? Is it the people of Kaduna State that are attacking themselves? I don't think so. I don't know so. So, foreigners coming, people sleep at night, others come to attack them. And the security agencies, for me, have been failing at one point or the other. Now, there was one of our governors, it's live, it's all over the media, who was saying they've called their brothers from all over Africa that they can come. They can come. It's there. And now they come, then you don't know, amongst those who come, are there others that are willing to suppress, to kill, to have their own desires met? I'm a Nigerian, I'm from Kaduna State, and you come from somewhere, and you now tell me that you have cattle come to my land, that I must allow your cattle to do what they want to do on my land. And I try to defend, and it becomes bloody. So this issue of banditry, people coming to oppress, now, the security agencies, right? You tell me I don't need to keep a gun and all of that. So the issue of banditry, our leaders, why they were elected, they should do the work. They should do the work about protecting. Now, religious intolerance, like, you don't need to kill anybody, because now this issue, there was a year, I think there was this beauty pageant, and some people in the state say, no, we don't want beauty pageant, and whatever, before you know anything, escalated. Nobody was caught. Nobody could give account, was held to that. And it has continued from then on. So, I mean, back to our leaders and all those agencies in Kaduna State and all of that. So that is where we will say our leadership have not really lived up to what we expect of them. The peace, they must uphold it. Punish offenders. Bring everything to the open. No hiding. No favoritism in any form. Unity issues.
All right. Thank you very much. I do appreciate. Gladys, I'm giving the next 3 minutes to you now to speak on defense of your state, given the issues she's highlighted.
All right. When she was starting, she made mention of ESN killing people. To the best of my knowledge, actually, ESN was created by somebody that actually underscored the security challenges we are having now. But because of the fact that actually that creation was not popularly known by the Nigerian state, then I think something happened. In one particular time, I think it was ending of last year, the former National Human Rights Chairman, Shid Odinkalu, was interviewed in this station by Sisioge Ireti Bakari. And he was asking him who was actually in charge or who are responsible for what you mistakenly put up now as one of the issues that bedevil my state.
Bless you, man.
On that interview, I quote Chido Dinkalo. He said that if it is just that we must try to investigate the Owerri prisons break, that up to date, no account has been made as per who actually broke the Owerri prisons. I'm just trying to bring this home based on the fact that before what happened, the problem you see today in Imo State was as a result of 50 columnists who actually, like I said, Imo State is the heartland. It is a place you go, you see peace. All the numbers of hotels in Imo State is as a result of the fact that people want to go back and relax. Sense of hospitality in Imo State was the reason that people say, this thing that is happening, let us see how we can destabilize the state. After the Imo prisons break, the issue of people going into street, going into the village, hacking people, and that was done in order to give a dog a bad name so that you can hang it. So I'm not an advocate of ESN, but it is erroneous for you to, if you want to maybe make an allegation of insecurity and you tag it on ESN. I'm not really here to defend ESN, but the truth is that according to Chido Denkano, I'm quoting, there is this 50 columnists who after the Imo prisons break, that up till now, no arrest has been made. Nobody has been brought to justice. How can you tell me that a prison that was situated in the municipal part of the state could be attacked and people were released up to today? No single individual has been arrested and nobody has been held liable for that prison break. And it was immediately after that prison break that we started having the issues that bedeviled Imo State. So I think maybe somebody somewhere has orchestrated that issues of anarchy in Imo State in order to use it to discredit Imo State.
I want to give you 2 more minutes to speak on Human Development Index. Interestingly, you didn't speak about Human Development Index in Kaduna State, and she spoke about Human Development Index in Imo State. So, well, unfortunately for you, she has nothing to contend with. So there you go.
Okay, Human Development Index in Imo State.
Well, she's saying it's low. At least she's suggesting that it's low.
It's not actually low.
Okay.
It's not actually low. When you talk of productivity, you can count on Imo State. Imo people are so industrialized that even if it has nothing to do with the contemporary orthodox or industrialized way of trying to develop individual self, there is this growing spurt of self-development among the people of Imo State. If you come to Imo State, you will notice that Imo State is one of the most lettered states in the whole of the Southeast. I'm proud to say it. So,
do you agree? Well, you hold on. I'll come to you in a moment. He's making a claim, so you have to agree or disagree.
Yes. So in Imo State, we have the highest number of people. Even my late dad that died at 93. If you compare his age or his mate elsewhere, maybe I don't want to cite any particular state, so that it doesn't look like I want to cast aspersion on any particular person, but their age bracket, you go to Imo State, just make a sample of opinion to know how people out of sheer self-help and development have really transformed their lives.
So basically, you're disagreeing with the fact that the Human Development Index in Imo State is low.
Yes.
Actually, you're saying it is high.
It is high,
so
yes.
this places your argument.
Yes.
I would love to, at some point, open up the telephone lines, but first I need to establish, is there anything you have left unsaid in terms of arguments or points in favor of your state?
All right.
Do you have anything?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I
good.
do.
So let me give you a minute then. Get to it.
All right. In favor of Kaduna State, I would say we are united, especially, let me say, especially when it comes to the southern part of Kaduna State. We've seen a lot of issues that we never wanted, and we have found a path for us to survive and thrive. So we are united on that in that aspect. Now, when you go to northern Kaduna, yes, the unity issue can be better. It can be better than what it is. So Kaduna State, we know that we've been blessed. We're rich with all the mineral resources. Maybe that's why we have this issue of the boundary tree and all of that, because they found something to come and steal in Kaduna State, supported one way or the other. Yes. So
thank you.
Yeah.
Which governor said he was going to send 400 youths, 40 youths to Europe? Which governor?
The governor of our state.
We're off on a break. Lagos 99.3 Nigeria Info. It's the state. We'll be right back.
You are listening to Open Thought on the Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
Ladies and gentlemen, back at you once again with some information you can use now. We all know we are in the season of love. Yes, Valentine is definitely upon us. And nobody is encouraging you quite like Wazobia Perfume to embrace the spirit of love and confidence with the Wazobia Perfume Scented Memory Challenge. Share a memory of how a loved one inspired confidence in you by words or actions and stand the chance to win a beautifully curated hamper for both yourself and that special person. To participate, follow us on Instagram at Wazobia Cosmetics. Yes, you heard me right, at Wazobia Cosmetics. Share how a special person inspired confidence in you and express your gratitude in the comments. Tag the confidence inspiring person. Use the hashtags #Wazobia Scented Memory Challenge, #Wazobia Cosmetics, #The Correct Scent, #Wazobia Perfume. Now, entries close at 7 p.m. on Tuesday, the 13th of 2024. Entries with the most likes take home the grand prize. So pour out your heart, spread the love, and let the memories flourish. Because the special thing about memories is that memories gain more value as time goes on. As time flies, the memories you have made start to mean more and more with each passing day. So make those memories. Make them this Valentine. Wazobia Perfume, the correct scent.
This is an infomercial.
Quality talk.
Intelligent conversations.
Always interesting.
You are listening to your number one station.
So engaging.
Sometimes even mind-boggling.
Let's talk.
I Beg to Differ Season 7 is about to start. 32 debaters selected from a pool of over 200 entries. 33 topics drawn from various facets of life. One winner, 1 million naira. Join Femi Abang Daniels and me Mondays to Thursdays, 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. to catch every show. For sponsorship, call 070-3498-4352 or send an email to info@nigeriainfo.fm. I Beg to Differ Season 7, a tournament of champions.
Are you a lover of music? What do you know about the music legend Bob Marley? As Silverbird Film Distribution presents the Bob Marley One Love movie. This highly anticipated movie is a biographical musical drama that celebrates the life and music of an icon who inspired generations through his message of love and unity. Bob Marley One Love movie will be showing in cinemas closer to you. The Bob Marley One Love movie will be showing in cinemas from February 14th, Valentine's Day. The Bob Marley One Love movie is supported in Nigeria by Silverbird Television, Rhythm 93.7 FM, Wazobia FM, Cool FM, and Nigeria Info.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
In our state here, we all agreed. I paid for every form. I paid.
So a dog is better fed in Nigeria prison than an innocent Nigerian who is held in your custody.
Do you comprehend the presumptions of government?
What have they done in their own road to fight corruption in Nigeria? That is their own problem. It's not my problem.
Do they reinforce your quaint ideas of a democratic state?
Political power is not going to be served in a restaurant. At all costs, fight for it, grab it, snatch it.
Do you just observe your fate, or are you a civic and material force to bring about a state change?
The speaker reminded me that I've not taken salary 4 months. I will not take it for 4 years.
Then join the state, a parley on Nigeria Info.
What we need to do in this country is to establish a situation where even if it was the devil who should come and sit on top of us, by virtue of certain procedures, certain practices, the devil cannot get away with doing whatever he wants. He would necessarily have to do what the people expect of him.
You are listening to Open Thought on the Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side, 2:30 exactly on the clock. Welcome to the state, and to all our friends who are with us on Facebook or on YouTube. You're live streaming. This part of the show we make open to the general public. Now, I'm looking to get at least 10 calls, and this opportunity is to afford you a chance to speak in favor of one of the states you support. So if you are calling in, you're either supporting or giving a supporting argument on the side of Kaduna, or you're giving a supporting argument on the side of Imo State. Do not bother with what you don't agree with. We're just speaking up on the arguments that support this state. Welcome, 0700-993-993-993 and 0201-465-7190. Nigeria Info. My name is Joyce. Welcome to the state. Welcome. Good afternoon to you, Nigeria Info.
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Welcome.
Hey, I'm happy to be the first caller on
Fantastic.
this show.
What state do you support? What's your name and what state do you support?
Okay, my name is Azu. I'm from Delta, but I support Kaduna.
Fantastic. What's your argument for Kaduna State?
Yes, actually, I grew up in Kaduna. I schooled in Kaduna. I want to give it to the lady from Kaduna.
Yeah, but you have a supporting argument?
Yes, my argument concerning Kaduna is...
We lost him. Nigeria Info, the sunny side. Hello, welcome to the show. What's your name?
Good afternoon.
Afternoon to you. Thank you so much for
This is
calling.
my name.
Thank you for calling.
From Ajawa State.
Fantastic. What state do you
I'm
support?
from Enugu State, and I am supporting Igwe Victor.
Okay, good. What's your argument?
Some place he did not capture very well.
Real quick, lay it down.
Imo State happens to be one of the most educated states in Nigeria, not only in the southeast.
Okay.
Yes, in the whole of Nigeria. Go to the statistics. It's proving 100% right. Imo State happens to be one of the most educated.
Anything else you got?
In the whole of Nigeria.
Okay.
And secondly, on infrastructure, modern infrastructure, Imo State is ranking, I think, number 4. Okay.
Okay.
So
you're not
that is
sure.
my argument.
I appreciate.
I'm supporting him 100%.
Thank you very much for calling the state Nigeria Info. My name is Joyce. Hello, Nigeria Info, the sunny side. Welcome to the state.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Afternoon to you. Thank you. What's your name?
Mr. Vanessa from Alagbado.
Fantastic. So,
I'm in support of Kaduna.
What's your
but
argument?
Those behind the crime are not people of Kaduna alone. They are international criminal gangs, mainly anti-Christ agents that have been committing this crime since 1995. So they are the one behind it. God bless Nigeria.
Thank you. Nigeria Info, the state. Welcome to the show. The volume of your radio set.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Thank you very much for calling.
Yeah, this is Mr. Tony calling from Oloja Papa.
Fantastic. Tony.
From Lagos State.
Good. What state do you support this afternoon?
Yeah, I'm supporting Imo State.
Good. What's your argument?
Imo State is one of the most beautiful states I've ever visited. The hotels and the roads, they are so good. And I think Imo State, I supported Imo State more.
Okay. Thank you very much. I appreciate.
Yep.
Nigeria Info, the sunny side. Good afternoon to you. Hello.
Good afternoon, Joyce.
Afternoon, lady. Yeah, welcome.
Yeah. I'm for Kaduna.
Fantastic.
Well, yes. My argument now is based on the education. I don't think, even with all the schools, the education over there is going well in Kaduna. No, it is not. Because even the ex-governor, El-Rufai, said something about it. Him talking about the Boko Haram, equipping them in other schools. So even with everything, I don't think if the achievement of the school is, in fact, in a good way of we saying it, because we don't have a lot of graduates coming out from the north over there.
So the Human Development Index is low then?
It's very, very low, Joyce. It is very, very low.
Thank you very much for calling. I do appreciate it. Nigeria Info, the Sunny side. I wasn't sure if that was supposed to be an argument in support. It sounded like more supporting argument for his for his stead. But great. Nigeria Info, welcome to the state. Hello, good afternoon to you. Thank you very much for being here. The volume of your radio set, remember that. Tell us your name.
Yeah, my name is Okay. I'm calling from Ojo.
Good to have you. Good.
I'm supporting Imo State.
Good. What's your argument?
In addition to what Igwe Victor said, in Imo State we have the highest palm oil production. We have other Palm Nigeria Limited in Imo State, located in Ohaji, because that's where I come from. And Owerri is one of the most peaceful states before all this nonsense started from up. So I think Imo State is great. We also have in my place we have what we call Gari Ohaji, one of the best Gari in Nigeria. You can fact check that.
Well, I'll love to fact check it, because Gary, he might just want to claim to have best Gary. Look, thank you so much for calling. I appreciate Nigeria Info, the state. Wow, I never heard that before. Nigeria Info, welcome to the show.
Good afternoon, madam.
Afternoon to you. Thank you so much. Welcome, Abuli.
I want to commend the two guests you have today on the show.
Yeah, if you have an argument, support them now. Hurry up.
The two of them, honestly, they've really tried. And thank you for bringing this program.
Fantastic.
Victor, hello.
All right, thank you.
What I say is that the government of this state should look inwards into what these people have said.
Relax.
Explore the options and do the needful. Thank you.
Okay, yeah, sure. Remember, if you're calling to support one or the other state. Hello, welcome to the show. It's the state. What's your name?
Good afternoon, my beloved sister.
Real quick, good afternoon. Tell us your name. What's your argument?
Yeah, Kimbo is my name.
Yeah.
I pitched my tent with the merchant man.
Good. What's your argument?
I married from that state, and I'm able to know that they are very, very accommodating. Their hospitality is beyond measure. In fact, they treat me like a king, and I see every Igbo man as my in-law.
Okay.
So they are very, very accommodating.
All right, thank you very much. So the whole hospitality argument has been corroborated. Nigeria Info, the state, is good to have you here. Hello.
Hello?
Yeah, welcome.
Hello.
Tell us your name. Yes, welcome, lady.
My name is Tai, and...
Tai?
Yes, Tai.
Okay. Speak up. Go ahead. Who's your argument for?
I'm supporting Kaduna State.
Fantastic.
I grew up in Kaduna.
Okay.
I had my nursery and primary school education there.
Yeah, so what's your argument for it? What's good about Kaduna?
I'm saying that at that time it was an industrial state. They had factories. They had good roads. They had good schools. But I don't know what is happening now. The best kind of bread and biscuits that I ever eaten in Nigeria were produced in Kaduna.
Okay.
And so
Thank
that's
you.
why I don't know what is happening now with the insecurity state.
All right. Thank you.
That's what I say. Thank you.
Thank you. What? Kaduna people, are your voices usually this low? Huh? Nigeria Info, the state. Hello.
Good afternoon, George.
Afternoon, speak up for us. Tell us your name and what state are you piggybacking on?
My name is Oaf. I'm supporting the Imo State.
What's your argument for Imo State?
My argument there is the show love.
Okay.
My sister are still there. And anytime he come, we always tell us that, I'm not in debt of doing that anymore.
Okay.
God bless you.
Thank you. Nigeria Info, the state. Hello, welcome to the show. What's your name? Hello?
Hey, guys, good afternoon.
Afternoon, your name and what state are you supporting?
Yeah, Francis from VI.
Real quick.
Yeah, supporting Imo State.
What's your argument for Imo State?
Yeah, I've been to Imo State.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful place to be.
Mm.
But the authority have to deal with insecurity.
All right, you're giving an argument to Gladys Shea,
Yeah.
Okay. All right, so we'll do two more and it's a wrap. Hello, the state. Welcome to Nigeria Info.
Yeah, good afternoon. This is IK.
Welcome,
I'm calling
IK.
from Sabo.
Fantastic. IK, what state are you supporting this afternoon?
Yes, I support Imo State.
What's your argument for Imo State?
Not much. Imo State is an hospitality state, and we have a lot of resources, as the guy just said. And also, it's a state that there is no, it's my state, and we have not had any problem. If not that this one that just started within a year now.
It's more than a year though.
So we have a lot of resources, and also we have the highest gas. Yes,
Gas
as the guy
reserve.
said, that's
All right.
true.
Thank you very much for
So,
calling. I appreciate it. Fantastic. So our final caller this afternoon on the state. Hello, good afternoon to you. Welcome to Nigeria Info. You're my final caller. Afternoon. Tell me your name and what state you're supporting.
Chukwuka, supporting Kaduna State.
Fantastic. What's your argument for Kaduna State?
Government always known Kaduna State to be accommodating back in time. People from the east relocate there and establish. Most of them do not even want to come back.
Okay.
Not until the recent time that we started having most of these crises. Kaduna, Kanu.
Okay.
Most people from the east, they like developing there, and they are accommodated over there.
I'm not even sure who you're supporting at this point, but yeah, you say you're supporting Kaduna. Okay. All right.
Yes, Kaduna State.
Thank you very much for calling.
You are listening to Open Thought on the Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
Okay, 99.3 Nigeria Info, the sunny side. I have just about 5 more minutes before my next recorded program on Nigeria Info. Welcome. If you have just tuned in, you have missed out on our first edition of the state, but you have nothing to worry about. It's on YouTube and on Facebook. I am giving a minute and a half each to our representatives to speak on their state, summarizing the arguments that they may have heard or may have just remembered during the course of the show. This time around, as has been the sequence, I'm giving the first 1.5 minute to you. Gladys, go ahead.
Okay. Wow. A lot of youth corporals that have served in Kaduna State will tell you about the hospitality in Kaduna State. Most of them don't want to return. They go into agriculture there. They make their cash. So Kaduna State too, very hospitality, multicultural, Yorubas, Hausas. Yes, educationally, our government needs to do a lot. Offline structures, furniture inside the classrooms, teachers for Kaduna State, even online, going online to do what we have, just like what the ex-governor did in Oshun, this IMO, over about 10 years ago, teaching. So if it's the aspect of education, the government there really needs to do much, because if some of the people from Kaduna State, by the time you get to them, because they were disadvantaged in that area, you don't see them going far and all of that. So our factories too need to come up, all those textiles that actually ran down before ex-governor El-Rufai and all of that. So
she's actually speaking against her state already. You probably don't have much again left in you. All right, we'll cut 1.5 minutes, please.
Yeah, it's good to be an Imo State man, because it's a place they say meaning that if you make all the work at any other place, you come back to Owerri city and spend the money. So if there is something...
So Owerri is the Las Vegas, huh?
Yes.
All right, good. Go ahead.
So if there's anything anybody has been proud of Imo State with, it's been the issue of the serenity of mind until when what started happening. The issue of serenity of the mind, you come back, you relax, you make your money, cash fund, and do all sorts of things you want to do in terms of going to different places like Uguta Lake. You go there and cash fund, see site for yourself, Imo Plantation, Azonta Cathedral, or Nguneshura Spring Water, Mbari Cultural Art and Center, Rolling Hills in Okigwe, National Museum in Owerri. Owerri Zoo naked, Palm Beach Resort in Awomama, Ogidi Spring these are the natural sites that when you are acquainted with it, you will know that you've come home to relax after you must have made all your money in US and in Lagos, and you come back to Owerri and relax your head.
Both of you have been wonderful. Thank you very much. Lagos, this afternoon we've had the pleasure of having the Merchant Man. And by the way, people would love your name, so I want your full names, please, real quick. Merchant Man, could you begin?
Yeah, my name is Igwe Victor Shiwendo. I'm from Umasanya, Umuleke, Ebenato, also LGA, Imo State.
And Gladys.
I'm Gladys Christopher from Kachia Local Government.
That was easy. Lagos, the state, next week. Ibadan and Enugu, Nigeria Info. My name is Joyce. God bless you. The sun sets here. My work's done.
The state.
In our state here, we all agreed. I paid for every form. I paid.
So a dog is better fed in Nigeria prison than an innocent Nigerian who is held in your custody.
Do you comprehend the presumptions of government?
What have they done in their own road to fight corruption in Nigeria? That is their own problem. It's not my problem.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram